listening to the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast with Tony D. Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast, your episodic dose of trivia covering all things video games and nerdy. Now, here's your host, Tony D.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast. On today's Minisode, we're going to be going over 10 questions about a specific topic, and how it works is I'll ask you a question, give you 5 seconds of silence, and then tell you the answer. And my youngest one just turned 7 months not too long ago, a few days ago, so I thought it'd be fun to do an episode about movies that have babies in it. So I'll ask you a question, give you 5 seconds of silence, and then tell you the answer. Alright, question 1. This movie was directed by Greg Berlanti and starred Katherine Heigl and Josh Duhamel, Josh Lucas, Alexa Claggett. And it's about 2 single adults becoming caregivers to an orphan girl when their mutual best friends had died in an accident. What movie is this? This is Life as We Know It from 2010. Question 2. This movie was directed by Charles Shyer and is a sequel that stars Steve Martin, Diane Keaton, Martin Short, and Kimberly Williams Paisley, where George Banks must deal not only with his daughter's pregnancy, but also with his wife's. What movie is this? This is Father of the Bride Part 2 from 1995. Question 3. After a single career-minded woman is left on her own to give birth to the child of a married man, she finds a new romantic chance in a cab driver. Meanwhile, the point of view of the newborn baby is narrated through voiceover. This movie stars John Travolta, Kirstie Alley, Olympia Dukakis, and George Segal. Which movie is this? This is 1989's Look Who's Talking. Question 4. This movie is about scientists who hold super intelligent talking babies captive, but things take a turn for the worse when a mix-up occurs between a baby genius and its twin. This movie stars Kathleen Turner, Christopher Lloyd, Kim Cattrall, and Peter MacNicol. Which movie is this? This is Baby Geniuses from 1999. Question 5. This is a horror movie. It's about a young couple trying for a baby, moves into an aging, ornate apartment building in Central Park West, where they find themselves surrounded by peculiar neighbors. One of the most memorable quotes from this movie is, "What have you done to its eyes?" This movie is directed by Roman Polanski and stars Mia Farrow and a few others. Which movie is this? This is Rosemary's Baby from 1968. Question 6. This movie stars Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, and it's about a successful single businesswoman who dreams of having a baby, discovers she is infertile, and hires a working class woman to be her unlikely surrogate. Which movie is this? This is Baby Mama from 2008. Question 7. For a fun-loving party animal, Ben Stone, the last thing he ever expected was for his one-night stand to show up on his doorstep 8 weeks later to tell him she's pregnant with his child. This movie is directed by Judd Apatow, stars Seth Rogen and Katherine Heigl. What movie is this? This is Knocked Up from 2007. Question 8. This movie follows the lives of 5 interconnected couples as they experience the thrills and surprises of having a baby and realize that no matter what you plan for, life does not always deliver what is expected. It stars Cameron Diaz, Matthew Morrison, J. Todd Smith, and Dennis Quaid. Which movie is this? This movie is What to Expect When You Are Expecting from 2012. Question 9. Faced with an unplanned pregnancy, an offbeat young woman makes a selfless decision regarding an unborn child. This is directed by Jason Reitman and stars Elliot Page, Michael Cera, Jennifer Garner, and Jason Bateman. Which movie is this? This is Juno. And finally, question 10. As part of a fertility research project, a male scientist agrees to carry a pregnancy in his own body. Directed by Ivan Reitman and stars Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Which movie is this? This is Junior from 1994. Alright, hope you enjoyed that episode about movies with babies. Maybe we'll do something about video games with babies in the future. I can already think of like one very obvious Kojima one. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Feel free to write us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Thank you so much for listening, and as always, trivia on.